on Candid with Ankit Nagpal. And welcome, Radhika.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ankit.
So
It's a pleasure.
it's a complete pleasure to have you here on my show. And I must tell all the viewers on both sides that she's an interior designer, and along with that, she's also an art consultant. So I'm hoping to have a very interactive conversation with you about your work and about yourself. And with your permission, if should we begin?
Oh, definitely, definitely. Can't wait.
Superb. So, Radhika, there are a lot of things that you are into, a lot of things that you probably wear a hat with a lot of feathers. Like I usually like to
Mhm.
introduce like this to all my guests who are into multiple things and they're excelling in it. And so are you. So, like I said, you're an interior designer, you're an art consultant. So, if you would like somebody to address you as like, a proper professional, a name that you would like, what would you like it as?
Yeah.
Interior designer or an art consultant?
See, by heart, I'm a interior designer for sure, and by brains too. But somewhere in my passion, there was always about arts as well. So that is why Art by Radhika also happened. So I think with art consultancy, it purely became through passion. That's it. And otherwise, professionally, I'm an interior designer. And under the umbrella of interior designing, art comes in any form. So yeah.
I think your voice is still coming to me in, in phases.
Bits
I
and
don't know if the
pieces.
audience can hear you. Yeah, yeah. I hear some part of it,
Um,
but some part of it gets distorted. There is some
oh,
network thing. If do you have another Wi-Fi, some another connect that you want to connect onto?
actually, I am using a Wi-Fi. Let me just go through my Airtel then. Ankit, can you still hear me? Or can you see me?
I can see you, but your voice is coming in phases and breaks.
It is. Uh, how do you want to go
So I'm
about
just
it
worried
then?
if the audience can hear you. I'm just wondering that if everybody is cool with that because I am hearing your voice in phases.
Okay, okay. I
Okay,
think
this
in
looks
that
better.
case,
So
is it?
yeah, now I can hear you. It looks pretty good.
Okay, okay, okay. Because
Superb.
even I
So
can hear you
Radhika,
more better now.
yeah,
Hmm.
lovely. So Radhika, I would really want to know, as many of our guests, or like about the guests, many of our audiences will want to know, how has your journey been? What's been your journey to be an art consultant, and as you are an interior designer as well? I'm
See,
sure you have
in
a journey that you can share with us.
absolutely, Ankit, that has been quite interesting so far. Actually, very interesting. So started my career as an interior designer. Then I moved into business development. Then I was not working as a designer for good 1 year when I was in my job. And from there, actually, the whole personality change and shift happened. Now I knew how to get in the business. So I think that was one of my most fascinating time frame. And then from there, the art happened gradually. Actually, art came as a lifesaver for me. So not just because I was passionate about it, but that was something which was, pulling me towards it. So I can literally relate to it that, there's some industry which pulls you towards it. So it happened that way for me and when it came to art. But interior designer with my professional qualification and with my experience, that was bound to happen. So being an interior designer, art happened naturally. And I never looked back ever since.
I'm glad you didn't, and that's why we are able to have this amazing conversation. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
but Radhika, related to this, would you want to tell something about us about Art by Radhika? Is that's the brand that
So
you own it? That's
yes,
the thing that you've done at?
yes. That's my brand. So basically, what happened with Art by Radhika was I got married after and I had to start something of my own, and that is where Art by Radhika came into the picture. And I was more than passionate. I think I was hell stubborn that okay, this has to be it, and we are going to make it work. And being into job, then being in the proprietorship, then being a founder for Art by Radhika, so everything happened smoothly. There was no hitch in terms of transition. But of course, when I got married, I took a break for a year or so, and then there was this time in my life and I had to say that no, I have to get back to work, and that is how Art by Radhika was born. And if I may say so, I think Art by Radhika actually gave birth to me
Okay,
instead vice
interesting.
versa. So it was a strange period because you're in that dilemma after getting married. Oh, should I get back to work or shouldn't I? That kind of a
Sure.
woman struggle that to make that decision. But then with Art by Radhika now, I just feel that it's not that I gave birth to it. I feel that this has given birth to me.
What a lovely statement, Radhika. I think if, as you rightly said, I'll call it as a rebirth, because you were already working, you were already into it, and like you said, post marriage, you had a gap of a year. So
Yeah.
Art by Radhika gave you rebirth, and what a lovely thing to say, actually. So you know, this question I'm going to ask you next is something which I was always very curious to ask somebody who's in this field, and probably you could answer me the best. That does interiors affect or relate to one's culture and lifestyle? Does it do that?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I mean, you'll be surprised with Indians also. We have a certain culture. Every house will have a certain culture and a lifestyle to it. And your interior is going to support you doing that. For example, say I am a Hindu, gotten married with a Sikh and into a Sikh family, right? So if somebody is very religious, they are going to have Babaji's area, like an
Right.
entire room dedicated to Babaji. So that becomes part of your integration. Supposedly, if you have a house which has a very, very, vegetarian, they cook only vegetarian, they are into more of, religious practices, that will reflect in their homes. And somebody who is more into parties, bar, clubs, stuff like that, that is automatically going to reflect in their lifestyle and in their home. So,
Sure.
like we are all in early 30s. Some of us would be more in terms of, not into drinking, but some might be, and some might be into entertaining as well. So when it comes to entertaining you, it's but obvious you're going to have a bar in your home
Right.
because if you are fond of that kind of an environment, you are going to bring that home. So that is how it becomes a part of your lifestyle. It becomes a part of your culture, and there's nothing wrong with it. If I have done
True.
houses who have dedicated one entire room to only massages and spas because they're fond of it. So if that is their,
Right.
way of lifestyle, they bring it home and we deliver it.
Wonderful. Wonderful, Radhika. Uh, Radhika, in fact, again, something a very similar question, but probably I'll ask you in a more elaborated manner that uh,
Yeah.
I'm understanding with that the fact that interiors do relate with somebody's lifestyle and their
Yeah.
style of living and their lifestyle,
Kind of.
but
Yes.
and their
Yes.
culture, of course. So, how is it possible for an interior designer to relate? Because if you're designing something for me, and probably you've known
Hmm.
me for years. You know what I like, I dislike, in my general thing also, apart from my habits,
Right.
if I'm a drinker or non-drinker, however. But
Right.
generally, you
Right.
would have an idea about my choice.
Right.
But when you meet clients, and especially international clients, how is it that you're able to relate? Because, I've been doing various other events, out of which one is a tattoo festival. So when I do a tattoo festival and I ask a lot of people who get a tattoo done on themselves, I do the PR for
Right.
it, and they tell me that they get a tattoo on their body which reflects and defines their personality, right? Because it's a
Absolutely.
permanent mark. So
Yeah.
similarly, when somebody is getting their house or a corporate or anything being interiored, how do you relate with their choice, and especially an international client? How easy or difficult is
Okay.
it, and how do you do it?
I'll tell you something very basic on this thing. If you are into public, say, service, if I'm doing somebody's home, it is a very personal affair, right? And in that terms, let me tell you, if I am not bonding with my client or my client is not bonding enough with me to tell me that, Radhika, this doesn't work for me because, you know, very simply, oh, it's not in my budget, or this is in my budget, or this is my lifestyle. Oh, I entertain a lot of people. I don't entertain my client has to be very comfortable with me to share their personal life. I mean, to an extent that are their in-laws coming and staying with them? Do they need an extra room or
Right.
extra space for that? So they have to be very open with me. And for me to create that environment becomes very important. So that is where your personality comes in. So if you have a personality which is warm enough for the other person to feel comfortable, then you know what? Because the other person is spending the money, they want the best. They are going to convey you all the information because they know that if they do not convey that to me, how am I going to deliver? So it becomes
Sure.
a, chain reaction kind of a way. I give them the warmth, that give them the comfort that, tell me, what exactly do you need? How do you live? Because of the time you are not going to tell me, how am I supposed to deliver? So that's how the chain reaction goes on. So even if
So
it's an
is this
international client also, so we have hours of conversation of, what kind of a lifestyle they have. That is why I say that lifestyle and culture becomes very important when it comes to interiors. And not just that, the bond between a designer and the client is utmost important, especially when it comes to residential. If it's a corporate or a commercial project, then it's a different ballgame. But if it's a residential, then it's a complete different ballgame.
okay? So that's what I understand, that you have a conversation, you probably have a consultation prior to you start your work, and you understand one
Yes,
client's
yes,
need
yes,
of
yes.
what's their
There's
need
a
in
complete
eventually.
briefing which goes on. There's a complete brief, and this brief will go on for not just one conversation, it will go on multiple times while doing the project also.
All right. So, what I understand with this, you do residential, if you're doing interiors, like you're an interior designer. So, do you do
Yeah.
residential and corporate as well, or you have an expertise on a
We do
particular,
both.
you do
We do
both?
both. Actually, yeah, we do both. We are more into residential though. Like if I have to conclude all the projects that I'm doing at the moment, internationally or domestically, so my say corporate will be 30% and residential will be all 70%. So
Okay.
we
So,
have that kind of a balance when it comes to corporate and residential.
interesting, interesting. And I'm enjoying this conversation because I'm able to connect one question to the other. And because
Yeah.
you said residential, I
Yeah.
believe a lot of people, when they do their interiors residentially, uh,
Mm-hmm.
in India especially, many people
Mm-hmm.
are very conscious about their vastus and very superstitious about their interiors and how they
Oh
want it to be
yes.
placed.
Oh
So
yes. Oh yes.
you'll be the best one to tell me this, that is there a relevance of Vastu? Is it something that really works? And how important is it as an interior? Have you done a course for
Um,
it, or how does it happen?
See, I'll tell you something. When it comes to Vastu, a lot of people have this misconception that the general norms would suit everybody. which is not a fact. Because if that would have been a true story, then every direction and every house is suited by a northeast facing house. I mean, there's nothing more auspicious than northeast facing house, right? But that's not the
Right.
case. There are some southwest facing houses which will be very prosperous. People will be, a lot of business owners will be staying in southwest houses. You'll be surprised. And according to Vastu, that's a complete no-no. But what we forget is that Vastu has to be correlated with your astrology. So once it is correlated with astrology, then you know that which direction is actually meant for you. So, it's a very scientific thing. So if you're doing
Yeah.
Vastu, that is what I tell most of my clients, because they will come and say this thing, oh, let's follow the Vastu thing. I like, hold on. If you want to follow the Vastu, then please bring your astrology along. Because those two things have to be correlated. Because every direction is not for everyone. It's a very custom-made plate.
Absolutely.
It's customized for each and every individual. And that also, a Vastu has to be correlated with the astrology of the Mukhya of the house. Not everybody. The bread earner, that person's astrology has to be correlated with the Vastu thing. And you'll be surprised how much interest Western people are taking in it. So not just Indian, even my international clients are taking interest in Vastu.
Wow, yeah, this is very, very interesting. Because I always used to feel that they probably may not have that knowledge about Vastu, especially international clients. Of course, if they're Indians, it's the other way around. But if there are any way of, a citizen of another country and a foreigner itself, then I used to wonder that they may not have that knowledge.
No. I think now, because with a lot of gurus and, with a lot of influence of Indians being abroad, like with our culture, with our food, with our Bollywood, everything, I think every American knows about Indian lifestyle by now. By watching all the Bollywood movies.
Super.
And you'll be surprised how many of them really want to bring that Indian culture inside their homes.
Yeah, that I can actually think of, because I have relatives and friends who are abroad, and I do see that their interest towards, like I always say, even India, a lot of people, a lot of foreigners have now started really religiously following yoga. Like yoga never used to be so active in their minds, but now they're doing it. So similarly, yes. I think I agree with you. A lot of, I'm sure your international clients have the knowledge, and probably they will be a little inclined towards it.
Not just interiors, but in arts. They want to take Madhubani art. They want to do, more of Indian prints on the fabrics, like cushion covers and stuff like that. So there's a lot which is happening actually for India abroad as well.
Super. So does this also, I would ask if does interiors give a person a real, a feel-good factor in their life because of this? Does that happen? Is it a feel-good factor? Can that change that? Interiors can do that?
It does. See, if you would even go through psychology of a person, we like to upgrade ourselves, don't we? Like, earlier when in our lives, when there was not even a fan, wo pankha, haath ka pankha chalta tha, right? Then a fan came in. Then coolers came in. Now ACs are there. Now there are ducts. Earlier it used to be a window AC. Now there are split ACs. Now there's a proper, centrally air-conditioned areas. So, we upgrade ourselves, right? So the moment you upgrade yourself, there's a feel-good factor that, oh, I'm in a more better environment. So that is what interior does to you. Even in my own space also, I think after every 6 months, I'm changing some arrangement or the other. Because it just gives me a new feel, a new kick, okay, I'm in a new environment. So we want to be in that comfort zone of our own space, but we uplift it.
Right.
So that really helps in your mood. You'll be surprised how much it helps in your confidence also.
I'm sure it does.
Because
Somewhere it does because
if you're happy,
that's eventually the environment you're staying and living.
yeah. So because if you're happy with your environment that you're living in, you automatically start reflecting that in the outside world also.
Right.
So yeah,
True,
that
true,
helps.
true,
That really helps.
absolutely. It makes sense completely.
Yep.
Okay, can you hear me, Radhika? I think you can hear me.
I think I lost you. I lost you a bit. I lost you a bit.
Okay, now I think we are
Yeah.
back. So, Radhika,
Yeah.
Art by Radhika is the
Yes.
it's the brand that you have. So, when you're
Right.
doing interiors for a client, so uh, does somebody really need big budgets to have an interior designer,
Not
or can it be
really. Not in
customized, or
today's
how
world.
is it?
No, not in today's world. I think if you would have asked me this question 10 years ago, my answer would have been different. But today, no,
No.
not in
So it
today's
can
world.
be
Not at all.
customized.
It is customizable. The thing is, people have to be honest, very brutally honest with themselves and with others, with the designer, that, tell your designer that, boss, this is my budget. Whatever I want in this budget. It might be also a lakh for a room, and it
I
might
lost
involve
your
a lot of
voice,
things in it.
Radhika.
It's breaking.
I
Is
lost
my
your
voice
voice.
breaking for you?
It reconnected. I lost your voice then.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay,
I
wait.
can hear you.
Hello.
Hello?
One second. Let me check.
Yeah.
It's okay. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear
So
me?
we'll go ahead with the conversation. So Radhika, also the fact that you have how I addressed you as an art consultant, but the word consultant, I believe, is quite a big word. It's something which
Right.
is very specific when I say. So are you like you have an expertise as such when you
Yeah.
say a consultant in art?
Yeah. So basically, what happens with consultancy is, if supposedly my client gives me a call, and this happens very naturally because obviously when we are doing residences for people, they ask, what kind of painting would go or which one should we take. So it happens, it's a very natural process for us. So basically, we categorize it in a few ways. First, my question is, are you looking for an investment sake, or are you looking it for your own personal, just something to be there on a wall which looks nice? What's your motive behind art? Because
Right.
if you're looking for investment, then the signature matters more than the piece of the art. For example, if I have a beautiful piece of art, but it is not done by a renowned artist, the value will be much lesser,
Right.
right? And then being a consultant, we keep a tap on this thing, that who are the upcoming artists, like which artist is doing how many shows, are they being internationally recognized, are they being domestically recognized, at what level they are at the moment. Because if an artist is doing well right now, the probability of them to have a very good name in 10 years is very high. And if that happens, then your painting value goes up exponentially, like it
Right.
becomes huge. So my first question is this, generally, that is it for investment sake, or is it for your own personal sake? If you're looking for your own personal, then are you looking for integrated, very complicated work, or are you looking for something modern, or because art also has to reflect with your personality.
Right.
So if somebody who's modern, who or does, actually, I will not even say modern, if of today's date also, and they say that, I am focusing towards Indian culture, they might be very interested in Jaipuri art. My house can be completely modern, but the
Yeah.
taste for art can be absolutely traditional also.
Sure.
So that really matters on a personal choice, on a personal personality of the person living in that house.
Sure. 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 Right. Absolutely right. So, uh, Radhika, does it, you know, I think everything has been changing with time,
Yeah,
with different decades and how things are moving in every profession for that matter.
right.
So is this the same with interiors? Because as a layman, I may not know a lot about the history of interiors. And is it has it been changing over time, like as the year passes
Oh,
or as decades pass?
tremendously,
Is there
tremendously.
is there a transition?
I'll tell you the transition from the Indus Valley times.
Okay.
You know, because when you talk about the history also, we are one of the oldest civilizations, as you would know, like, Indian, Chinese, and Egyptians, one of the oldest civilizations on the face of this planet. So we definitely know way much more about interior and lifestyle than what anybody else can even think of. It's just that we have lost our track in between, but we are getting back to it again. So if I may say so, interiors has evolved to an extent that our culture with our invasions which happened in this country, that brought different cultures in it. And that is what we are living today. Ideally, Indians, or say this Asia Pacific, was more to do with being grounded. We used to have uplifted architecture, but when it came to furniture, people were sleeping on the floor with the mats. We were not going towards the beds. All these furniture things came in through invasions, but our Indian way was much more healthier though. If you would be sleeping on the floor, you will never have a backache. If you would go
Yeah.
use your washroom the way the Indian style is, you will never have a knee replacement. So, of
Right.
course, we had some things that we were supposed to be very proud of, but somewhere I think we lost our track, but we are getting back to it. In terms of with invasion, we got introduced to furniture and new styles and new cultures. That is what makes Indian culture very rich again, because we are influenced by everyone. We have our own,
So,
but we have adopted a lot of other things from other cultures too. Now, if you would have asked me this thing that 10 years ago or say 15 years ago, how was interiors back then? There was not even a career. This was not even a
really?
career for most of the people. Yes. About, say, 20 years ago, I don't think this was even considered a career. It was more considered as a hobby.
Ah, yeah, probably yes.
And today, it's a full fledged career. You have courses, you have degrees for it. So when I passed out, there was no practical degree for it. We did diploma.
No, okay, yeah, yeah, this actually makes sense completely. Yes, I can imagine. I don't think 20
Right.
years back, you're right. If 20 years back, if I had to get my house done or interior, I would have probably tried to be that, so-called expert and do it myself, or probably,
Yeah.
ask a friend who's very creative, but not an expert in interiors. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right, actually. That will happen.
So this became a career very recently, and now it has boomed to an extent that it's impossible to ignore it. You know, now there's enough competition, which is good. It's actually very good to have competition in this field because it tells you that this field has become important enough.
Right.
You know, earlier people were just competing between, say, engineering, getting to an engineering college. Now you're competing to be a designer.
But that's true. That's true. In fact, now I know a lot of clients who design their offices and stuff, and they definitely look for an interior designer to come in because I think it's is it also because they apart from the creativity and apart from your professional expertise that you have learned through a diploma or a course or however or a degree. Is it also that people generally hire an interior designer as well because they don't have the time? Is that also another reason?
Very much, very much. I think it makes sense if you hire a designer to save money practically. I mean, people think that hiring an interior designer might be expensive, but quite honestly, it's quite opposite. if you hire a designer, you're going to save yourself so much of time and so much of money. It's not even funny.
Right.
Because we have, for the client, it might be their first or second home or a third home,
Yeah.
maybe. For us, it's like maybe 30th of the 40th home. So, you've done so many that you know exactly which phase has to come when, which store to go, which one is not going to rip you off, who has a good after sale service, who doesn't have a good after sale service, what works basically. So in that entire process, we are saving so much of time and money for our clients that I would say, even if you don't have a budget, hire a designer. you know, really, it's going to save you way much more in the long run.
That's true. In fact, if I look at it myself, and if I have an interior designer doing something for me, a decor or anything, I would rather save that time and actually earn more money working in my own
Exactly.
profession.
Right.
So I think that's absolutely true. So
I'll give you,
Radhika, also that.
sorry, I'm cutting you over here. I'll give you an example. If you'll be doing your own house, you will not know where to save your money. You will want to do everything as your best, right? Give your best over there. The designer would know exactly where to cut corners and where not to cut the corners. Second part is this thing, your designer will complete your entire house in between 3 to 6 months. You are going to take about 2 years to do the same project. And it's a fact. So that's the amount of difference of time.
Right. So Radhika, as you've we mentioned that you're an art consultant and you're quite inclined towards the art side of it as well.
Yeah.
Do you create your own artworks? Do you paint? Do you do your is that also happens, or do we call you as an art consultant only because you have the knowledge about what kind of an artistic or art things on an interior would need, or do you create your own artworks?
See, I don't think I would have been a very good art consultant if I would not have been an artist myself. Quite honestly,
Right.
actually. So basically, I do create my art whenever I get the time to do so. But I promote a lot of other artists' work actually, because I'm wearing too many hats, too many feathers. So for me to create one piece of art becomes a challenge in itself. And whereas I know that there are so many other artists using different techniques, which are so unique in their own way that I would be a fool not to promote them.
Radhika, today when I was literally choosing my shirt, what I want to wear today to chat with you. I especially looked for this shirt, which was a little more artistic, you would say. I thought that I'm talking to somebody who is an pro and an expert in interiors and art, so I better be at least something which I can relate to.
That's very kind of you, actually.
So Radhika, tell me something. If somebody really wants to walk on your, they want to follow your footsteps and they want to be how you are, they want to be an interior designer and of course be also an art consultant to have that knowledge. What would you recommend? What would you suggest to them?
Okay, now that's that. I think that this is probably the most important question for all the students and all the new entrepreneurs or the new professionals who are coming into interiors. Learn to be a good salesperson. Apart from being creative, you need to be a good salesperson.
Yeah.
If you're not, then know it. Know the fact that are you good with sales or not? If you are, then you have a way of climbing up. You can, start your own business. You can start your own gallery. You can do anything that you want to.
Right.
But for that, you have to be a very hardcore salesperson. You have to be smooth. You can't be seen as desperate. If you would know what I'm trying to say, it has to be a very smooth transition from being an artist to a salesperson, or from being a designer to a salesperson. Because you might be a fantastic designer, but if you can't sell your design, you're no good.
Okay, so that's the message.
So that's the message. So even if you're and that is why I said, if I would not have taken a job as a business development manager, I would not be sitting here.
Okay.
Well,
All
then I
right.
would
So
be
that
probably in a corner office doing my designs, being in a back seat, being a, just being a designer. Starting your own business requires way too many other things to do.
so but
So yeah.
that kind of defines your thought about it because like you rightly, of course, when you have, and I agree with you, completely agree with you, because you may be an expert in your profession, what you are, but
Yeah.
eventually when you reach out to the masses and reach out to your clientele, you
Yeah.
rightly said they must have a right marketing skills in them for sure, or and not sound desperate as well. So I think there's
Yeah.
a right balance that one needs, and that's the key. You mean?
Yep. Because you need to have the confidence to own your position. And you can own your position when you're an expert of your own field. So everything is in a, connection. It's again a chain. You need to be an expert in your own field. You have to be a good designer to begin with. But then you need other qualities to push it further to your clients so that they can, feel it that, okay, she knows or he knows what they're talking about.
All right,
So, yeah.
well said. I think I completely agree with you there, Radhika. And so while we sent out the information out that today you're my special guest on the 21st episode of Candid with Ankit Nagpal, and so we usually put it on our social media, we put it out on a broadcast to let my people know and my list know that I have
Right.
such a wonderful, knowledgeable person as my guest. So with that, a lot of questions also come out to us from the viewers, and
Okay.
so there's a girl. The question that I've got from Neha.
Okay.
Neha, one second. So Neha Singhal from Lucknow has sent me a question asking that, ma'am, what would you suggest in terms of the institutes that you think that really can teach? If I want to be an interior designer, what would you suggest? Can you suggest any institute or any management where I can we can follow that and we can learn that and we can get ourselves do an admission and learn?
So basically, first, hi Neha. I'm very glad that you picked up this question. But if you're looking for it professionally in terms of getting a degree, must go through a university. You must go through a recognized university. Nowadays, there are a lot of universities who have recognized interior designing as a proper degree course. Instead of going through a small institute, I would rather recommend go through a proper university. There are a lot, many. If you want to name a private few, then Sharda University, Amity, all these people are going and doing arts. Pearl is teaching interiors. All these people are, getting into interiors in full-fledged manner. So I think go through a proper university because that will help you get into a good company later on. A normal institute, a private small institute will not help you get a good placement. These universities will help you get good placements later on. So that is where, and plus, what I feel a major difference between a university education and a normal institute education is in university, you have a lot of mentors coming in and teaching you. There'll be a lot of private people who would be coming, recognized designers who will be coming as a guest faculty. They will be sharing their experience with you. So there's not just that, and there's a proper syllabus which is followed in a university rather than a small institute that you would be finding in your neighborhood.
Sure.
So that's a huge difference over there. So yeah.
So I hope, Neha, you got this answer. And of course, this whole live feed is going to be there on my IGTV as well. So I'm so in case you missed out on this, you can always watch it there. I usually take up, one or two questions. So because I have got like loads of questions that have come to me, but considering the time constraint that we have, I'll take up one more question that I got from Krishna Kant from Mumbai. And
Right.
he is asking to ask Radhika that if she was not an interior designer, what would have had she been chosen? What would have been an alternate her interest, alternate profession she would have been in at this point in
I would have been an artist.
time? Anything
An
apart from
artist,
this?
hands down, hands down. I would have been an artist.
But I'm adding this question here. I'm going to edit your question, Krishnakant, that because you're already an art consultant and
Okay.
you are an artist, you are doing paintings. So if not both, then what?
Okay, if I would not have to be, if I would not have been in a creative line,
Yeah.
then maybe I would have been into exports.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Either exports or be a lawyer. One of these two things.
I think so. I mean, that is I think you would have been amazing as a lawyer because,
Really?
how much I've known you for all these years.
Yeah.
You're a person who has great communication. You are, you're very confident. You know what you're talking. I've never heard you saying something which is baseless, which is something which has no base to it.
You're being extra kind to me.
Me too. I'm being very honest. I'm being very honest.
Yeah.
So great, wonderful. So this has been a wonderful conversation, very knowledgeable, in fact. I welcome Ruhi, I welcome Richa. We are almost at a time when we are going to end this conversation, Radhika. But what would you suggest to all the viewers, all the listeners right now, and who watch this entire video later? I'd like you to give a message, especially in these days of pandemic. The corona is on. Delhi is again rising. The cases are
Yes.
again rising.
Yes.
Earlier it was 700. Now we are getting to 3,000, 2,900. So any
Right.
message that you want to give to all the viewers, professionally or personally? Or
Professionally, I'll say this thing, like being an interior designer, treat your home like temple. You know, it has to reflect your personality. But besides that, keep it clean, keep it organized. Uh, During this time of pandemic, especially, few tips, if it makes sense, please follow. If it doesn't make sense, just keep it back behind in your mind. But keep your shoes outside. Don't bring in your shoes.
yeah,
Keep small sanitized bottles almost in every corner of your house, right?
right.
Don't underestimate the power of sunshine. You know, a lot of people, they avoid bringing the sunshine inside their home. Please don't do that. You need sunshine, not just for vitamin D, but even to sanitize your house. Otherwise, you'll have all kind of sealant, moisture, diseases which will come in just because if your house is not well heated, or say if you're not getting the natural rays of sun.
Natural
But
sunlight.
it's natural sun, absolutely. Second, and the another thing is do cross ventilation. I don't know why people don't take this seriously. You know, when you get up in the morning, just open your doors. It doesn't take much, but do that cross ventilation. You're breathing the same air again and again, especially with these UPVCs, windows, and doors which have come in our lives. They really block the air. There's not even a little scope of air coming in and out. So you really need to make that effort to open your doors and your windows. So cross
Right.
ventilation is crucial. If nothing else will make you fall sick, this definitely will if you don't cross ventilate. So that, and plus, you know, just try staying more calm. Enjoy your home. Party at your
All
home
right.
place.
Lovely. Lovely. Radhika, when I asked this question to many of our guests, and most of them have a common answer saying that, have patience, this time will go, it's a passing phase, and such things that come out. And you have spoken, the message that you've just given to all of us is a true interior designer expert, I'll say, or a consultant. All your advice, all your message to what they must do during this time, but really related to the interiors in the house. So,
Oh,
this
it
is something.
is. Your home has become your office. Your home has become your entertainment zone. Your bedroom is not going to be the same area as before. You know,
Right.
your bathroom, you're going to enjoy your home and invest in your home right now rather than investing anywhere else. Because, hey, boss, I don't have an office now. Even I have vacated my office. I'm also operating from my home. So, you know, you're bound to invest in your own space and it's at least more fruitful. You're going to live in it.
Super,
Might as well
super.
make most of it.
I can genuinely feel it that this answer is coming deep down your heart. Like this is
Oh,
something which is
this is
really
all tried and tested.
Lovely for all the listeners. This is a great message, and I think we'll end this conversation with this lovely lady whom I had this wonderful, knowledgeable conversation. In fact, a lot of things were an eye opener for me as well. You know, sometimes you have a lot of questions that you want to ask, but you don't know the right person, and probably, you know, I know you so well, probably over these years that I always think now I'll ask you this question. You'll be like, why now? So this is a platform to ask you these questions, and I've got my answer completely, you know, well in place how I wanted, and I probably could understand and relate to things which you mentioned. So
I'm
Radhika,
glad. I'm glad.
thank you so much to be here. In fact, while you're here, I must also tell you that my show is supported by Gem Minds, who's my associate partner, and they are the only
Lovely.
certified minds operating from Karol Bagh, and they're doing pan India in Delhi, Karol Bagh. And of course, I have Voila Jewelry, who's given me
Oh,
their support as a gifting partner as well. And they have now been, in fact, because art, we are talking about art, they are doing handcrafted designs for their clients, and even now they're into mask and face mask and gloves as well. That's the need of
oh,
the hour.
lovely. 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 That's amazing.
So yeah, so I must tell you also that we are on this
I
last
think I am
segment.
going to get in touch with them.
Absolutely, you'll have something coming your way from my side soon as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Radhika, this is the last segment that we have for all our guests who are here, who are watching, and who may join in later and see it. That we have
Right.
a small contest that we keep for our guests, and there are two questions that I'm going to quickly ask to all my guests. And guys, you need
Right.
to answer. Send me the answers on my DM. Please do not reply here on this chat, on this live show, because then you'll be disqualified automatically. So please DM me the answer. Um, uh, I'll just read out a message. Somebody has written something before I ask the question. So much information. Thank you, Radhika ma'am, for being with us, and I'm very thankful to you, sir. Thank you so much, Kritika.
Oh, that's so sweet, Ritika. And my pleasure. My pleasure.
The question completely comes in, and very simple questions I'm going to ask, guys. Nothing very, no rocket science here. So the first question that I want to ask you is that Radhika has a company that she has, a brand name. And I'd like you guys to tell me what is the name of the brand that she owns. So please send me that. Question number one, send me that answer. Second question that I have with all of you is that she also has been a consultant of what that I want to know from you. I give you three options, whether it is lifestyle, it's fashion, or is it art? What is she of a consultant of? That you need to send me. Choose one of these three options and send it to me on my direct message on my inbox. And the winners will get the gift from Voila and Gem Minds at their doorstep soon. So Radhika, thank you so much. I had a wonderful chat, and I could see
Oh,
the
lovely.
messages from others. They had a
Ankit,
great experience. Yeah, please.
fantastic experience. I'm saying it's been a fantastic experience actually. Lovely.
Thank
Very lovely.
Thank you so much to be here on my show on the 21st
My
episode of
pleasure.
Canada Festival. And I'm going to sign off from here. And of course, with a big thank you to you, I'll recommend everybody to be safe and stay indoors and be safe. Spread love.
Stay home. Stay home and stay safe.
True, true. Thank you, Radhika.
And
Thank you so much.
pleasure, pleasure. Complete
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ankit.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So, guys, thank you so much to be a part of this show. And I could see a lot of people who had this great interest watching this. I'm sorry to miss out the lovely messages that were coming in between, and I couldn't reply to all of them. Of course, I read a few and I replied to a few as well. But thank you so much to be here, be my support. Watching it was wonderful to be here. And I will see you soon next weekend with another lovely guest, another conversation, something interactive with a new profession and more knowledgeable. So, yes, absolutely. I'll see you guys again next weekend. Until, as I said, spread love, be safe, and stay home. Thank you so much.